Bhaktapur Durbar Square is the plaza in front of the royal palace of the old Bhaktapur Kingdom, 1400 m above sea level. It is one of 3 Durbar Squares in the Kathmandu Valley in Nepal, all of which are UNESCO World Heritage Sites. The Bhaktapur Durbar Square is located in the current town of Bhaktapur, also known as Bhadgoan, which lies 13 kilometers east of Kathmandu. While the complex consists of at least 4 distinct squares, the whole area is informally known as the Bhaktapur Durbar Square and is a highly visited site in the Kathmandu Valley. Major attractions 55 Window Palace The Palace of 55 Windows was built during the reign of King Yaksha Malla in 1427 AD and was remodeled by King Bhupatendra Malla in the 17th century. Among the brick walls, with their gracious setting and sculptural design, is a balcony of 55 windows, considered to be a unique masterpiece of wood carving. Golden Gate Ludoka is said to be the most beautiful and richly molded specimen of its kind in the entire world. The door is surmounted by a figure of the Hindu goddess Kali and Garuda and attended by 2 heavenly nymphs. It is embellished with monsters and other Hindu mythical creatures of marvelous intricacy. Percy Brown, an eminent English art critic and historian, described the Golden Gate as the most lovely piece of art in the whole kingdom. It is placed like a jewel, flashing innumerable facets in the handsome setting of its surroundings. The gate was erected by King Ranjit Malla and is the entrance to the main courtyard of the Palace of 55 Windows. Lions Gate The magnificent and beautiful gate was produced from artisans whose hands were cut off after finishing touch to them by the envious Bhadgoan king so that no more of such masterpiece would be produced again. Mini Pashupati Temple The holy god Shiva Temple, the Mini Pashupati, is believed to be built right in front of the palace after a Badrinath king dreamed of it. Batsala Temple Batsala Temple was the stone temple of goddess Batsala Devi that included many intricate carvings. However, it was most famous for its bronze bell, known to local residents as the bell of barking dogs as when it is rung, dogs in the vicinity bark and howl. The colossal bell was hung by King Ranjit Malla in 1737 AD and was used to sound the daily curfew. It was rung every morning when goddess Toledo was worshipped. It was completely demolished by the 2015 Gorkha earthquake. Statue of Bhupatendra Malla The statue of King Bhupatendra Malla in the act of worship can be seen on a column facing the palace. Of the square's many statues, this is considered to be the most magnificent. Nyatapula Temple Nyatapula in Newari language means 5 stories the symbolic of 5 basic elements. This is the highest pagoda of Nepal ever built with such architectural perfection and artistic beauty. Bhairavanath Temple The Bhairavanath Temple is dedicated to the god of terror and death, Bhairava. Temples Erotic Elephants Temple on the left just before the entrance way to the square is a hitti. A few steps before that but on the other side of the road, just 100 m before the entrance way, is a tiny double-roofed Shiva Parvati temple with some erotic carvings on its struts. One of these shows a pair of copulating elephants, in the missionary position, Kisi Kama Sutra. Agrajhandi and Agrabharaba near the main gate at the west end, one can admire a pair of multiple-armed statues of the terrible god Agrabharaba and his counterpart Agrajhandi, the fearsome manifestation of Shiva unregistered trademark S consort Parvati. The statues date back to 1701 AD and it is said that the unfortunate sculptor had his hands cut off afterwards, to prevent him from duplicating his masterpieces. Agrajhandi has 18 arms holding weapons, and she is in the position of casually killing a demon. Bhairab has 12 arms and both god and goddess are garlanded with necklaces of human heads. Rameshwar Temple The first temple one notices on the right of the gate is Rameshwar, in front of Gopinath Temple which is a Gambhaja style. It is an open shrine with 4 pillars and it is dedicated to Shiva. The name Rameshwar comes from that it was Ram as an incarnation of Vishnu who had the original temple of Mahadev built at Rameshwar Temple in South India. Badrinath Temple a small temple west of the Gopinath Temple locally known as Badrinarayan is dedicated to Vishnu and Narayan. Gopinath Temple. A Euro 2-roofed pagoda style is the Gopinath Temple, attached to Rameshwar Temple. It houses the three deities Balaram, Subhadra and Krishna. It is difficult to see the deities as the door remains mostly closed. The temple is also known as Jagannath, which is another from taken by Vishnu. Dwaraka, also known as the Krishna Temple, houses three deities, left to right, Satyabhama, Krishna and Radha. Their images are carved in stone. In the month of Mansir, the deities are placed in a palanquin and taken around the city. Kedarnath Temple. A Euro The terracotta-made Shikara-style temple is the Kedarnath Temple. Hanuman statue. A Euro The entrance to the National Art Gallery is flanked by figure of Hanuman, the monkey god, who appears in tantric form as the four-armed Hanuman Bhairab. Hanuman is worshipped for strength and the devotion. Vatsala Devi Temple. A Euro directly in front of the palace and beside the king. A Euro unregistered trademark S statue and next to the Toledo bell is the Vatsala Devi Temple. This Shikara-style temple is completely constructed in sandstone and is built upon a three-stage plinth, and has similarities to the Krishna Temple of Patan. It is dedicated to Vatsala Devi, a form of the goddess Durga. The temple was originally built by King Jitamitramala in 1696 AD. The structure that can be seen today, however, is reconstructed by King Bhupatendramala and dates back to the late 17th or early 18th century. Behind the temple is a water source called Dunjdara and next to it stands the Chaislin Mandap. Layout. The Durbar Square proper houses the 55-window palace which was constructed by King Jitamitramala and was home to royalty until 1769. It is now a National Gallery. Close by is the Golden Gate which leads into Mulchok Court which is home to the Toledo Temple. This temple, like others in the main towns of the Kathmandu Valley, is dedicated to the goddess Toledo Bhavani and includes shrines to both the Toledo Bhavani and Kumari. Entrance to the temple is restricted to Hindus and the living goddess strictly cannot be photographed. The Durbar Square is surrounded by spectacular architecture and vividly showcases the skills of the Nawari artists and craftsmen over several centuries. The royal palace was originally situated at Dataraya Square and was only later moved to the Durbar Square location. Impact of earthquakes. The Durbar Square at Bhaktapur was severely damaged by an earthquake in 1934 and hence appears more spacious than the others, in Kathmandu and Patan. Originally, there were 99 courtyards attached to this place, but now only 6 remain. Before the 1934 earthquake, there were 3 separate groups of temples. Currently, the square is surrounded by buildings that survived the quake. On April 25, 2015, another major earthquake damaged many buildings in the square. The main temple in Bhaktapur Square lost its roof, while the Vatsala Devi Temple, famous for its sandstone walls and gold-topped pagodas, was demolished by the quake. Gallery. See also, Durbar Square, Patan Durbar Square, Kathmandu Durbar Square. References. External links.